Welcome to Go Get Great, the podcast for aspiring entrepreneurs and ambitious small business owners. I'm your host, Brittany, owner of Brittany Miller Socials and mother of 3. Go Get Great is all about helping you make life and business work together. You'll learn about the fumbles that helped get me and my guests to where we are today so you don't have to make them. So come join the journey with Go Get Great. I get asked, what social media platforms do I need for my business a lot? Actually, they technically phrase it as, should I be on TikTok? So I thought that it would be a really great opportunity to take a look at what the goal of social media is, how it's going to impact your business, and then what platforms make sense for you as a business owner. So overall, social media, as we know, is designed to be an interactive engagement platform. So in terms of marketing your business, it's really used to help you connect with new people, new audiences, new customers, new clients, and all of those fun things. For product-based businesses, you can use it to sell products. Service-based businesses, you can use it to sell your services, although it's usually more so used for lead generation. So connecting you with those new people who you then try and book a call with or potentially sell a product to. So I primarily use social media to connect with new audiences, but because I don't own social media, I integrate it with my email marketing strategy. So many of you guys heard me talk about that. I'm not really going to talk too much about email marketing today, but I do want to note that I use social media to help me grow my email list. And then I really focus on driving the sales and the lead generations that we're looking for through my email list. So social media is the first piece of it. The first thing that we need to think about is, what kind of content are you going to be sharing for your audience? What is it that you do for your business? If you look at me and say, you know what, I am going to tweet. I want to use Twitter. I'm going to be like, okay, cool. That sounds great. What are you tweeting? And then if you proceed to tell me that you're going to tweet out recipes, I'm probably going to raise some eyebrows because Twitter has a very short character count and I have yet to find a recipe that would fit in Twitter. So once you know what it is that you're going to be sharing with your audience, and the best medium to share it through too is kind of an important thing to think about, you want to figure out what type of content you like to create. So we're going to stick with the recipe example for a second. So if you were sharing recipes, you could share them in text format. So you could put it in like a Facebook or an Instagram post, or you could share it in video format and create like a YouTube video for the recipe teaching people how to actually make it. That makes sense. You could also blog recipes to some extent, but you can't really podcast recipes. So knowing what type of content you're going to be sharing with your audience and the best medium to share it in is really important. If you're like, I'm not wordsy, then I would probably go with video content and steer away from the more written formats like blogging and longer Facebook and Instagram posts. So once you know what type of content it is that you're going to be sharing with your audience, then you're going to want to think about the best method to share it with them. If you're thinking like video, then YouTube's going to be a great go-to. If you're a little bit more wordsy and posts are kind of your thing, then you can do Facebook and Instagram, things more like that. In terms of video content too, in addition to YouTube, TikTok's also a great option. So we're going to talk about all the different social media platform options that are really popular right now and what's going to work best for your business specifically, but you need to know what your strengths are. If you're great at editing videos, then yeah, definitely YouTube and TikTok are probably going to be great options for you. If that's not in your wheelhouse, steer away from those. You still get great benefits from the other social media platforms. The last thing that you need to consider too is your target audience. You could be the best TikToker on the planet, but if your target audience is senior citizens, probably not going to say TikTok is a good place for you to be. I'm sure there are senior citizens on TikTok, don't get me wrong, but the majority of the demographic that uses TikTok, not that. So you also need to figure out where your people are so that you can talk to them and find them in an easy to do manner. So let's take a look at some of the platforms more specifically. So we're going to start with Facebook. So I looked up some numbers because I'm a bit of a numbers person, and then I'll do a general overview at the end. There are currently 2.93 billion monthly active users, meaning that 2.93 billion people use Facebook every month, which for reference is 36.7% of the world's population. So that's a really big number and hard to ignore. I know a lot of people say that Facebook has lost some traction in the last few years, and I'm not going to disagree with that. With the launch of TikTok and Instagram growing in popularity, I would say Facebook is probably not the trendy platform in most audiences' eyes. However, it is still one of the most used platforms and is probably going to be integral to your social media strategy. So it is the favorite platform for 35 to 44-year-olds. That's the popular demographic. There's a little shy of 4 million people in that age bracket that are using it. In terms of male versus female, if you have a product that you need one of those audiences for, it's pretty close. You've got 56% male population, 43% female. So I would say those numbers are pretty similar. If the numbers aren't enough to sway you about whether or not you need to use Facebook, and you probably should, then you really should think about some of the additional features and options that Facebook has to offer. So I know I personally schedule my content in Meta because it is free to use and it works with Facebook and Instagram. There's also really amazing shopping options on Facebook. You can have people purchase products right from your Facebook page without having to reroute them to like a website or Etsy. And reviews is a huge, huge feature that you do not want to underestimate. So 53% of shoppers are more likely to purchase from a business that they can message. And often those messages are done through either Facebook Messenger directly on the Facebook platform or through the Messenger app, which can be integrated with a lot of different website platforms. So if you don't have Facebook account set up for your business, you're losing out on 53% of sales because buyers can't reach out to you via message, which is one of their preferred methods of communication. In addition to that, there's, especially for service-based businesses, the groups and events feature are really fantastic tools to help you grow your business. They can help build your brand reputation too. A lot of millennials and Gen Z are really big on researching before they make a purchase with a business. So that's where the review feature comes in, and they'll often check several different social media platforms to confirm that you do in fact have a social presence, you exist as a legitimate business, and you have been around for a little bit of time so that they know when they make a purchase, they're actually going to get their item. So having that presence on Facebook is going to be really beneficial for your business, even if you're not actively using it as a sales tool. If you're not looking for leads and product sales from Facebook, it is good to have available for your business. So we'll move on to Twitter now. So I'll be honest, I don't use Twitter. I have no interest in it whatsoever. I know it is a fantastic tool and lots of businesses see really great success on it, and I'll talk about some of that in a minute. But I personally have zero ability to be concise. As you've listened to my podcast more, you will understand that I probably ramble a little bit more than I need to and maybe overshare just a tad. So 280 character tweet, ain't gonna happen. That being said, there are a lot of users, 77.75 million in fact. And Twitter is most prevalent in the US, in Japan, in India, in Brazil, and the UK. So it does cover quite a large geographic presence as well. The popular age group for it is 25 to 34. So that's almost 40% of Twitter users that fall into that category. And then the next most popular one is ages 35 to 49. So that is a very large demographic that you can reach if you're creating tweets for your business. Twitter users are mostly male. 70% of users are male, so 30% are female. So if you have a male target audience, if you're, let's say, like a sports-based business, then Twitter could be a fantastic option for you to reach your target audience. Twitter's also boasting that you can have 26% more ad view time if you're running paid advertisements on Twitter. It's a pretty bold statement. Most people on social media tend to just keep scrolling, so they've obviously done some research to prove that their ads work better than others, and they say that it also gives them a 40% higher ROI. So I personally can't speak to this because I don't run paid ads on any of the platforms that I use, but I saw that statistic and thought it was interesting and worth mentioning for people. And another key thing that I thought was good to know is that 82% are B2B marketers, so business to business marketers on Twitter, which is second only to LinkedIn at 96%. So if you have a business that sells to other business owners, so like me as a social media manager, I would probably actually do really well to utilize Twitter and LinkedIn as part of my marketing portfolio and marketing plan for my business because I market to other businesses. That being said, I do not actually use either. And I can share that in just 1 second. So we're going to talk about LinkedIn now since we were just talking about that. So LinkedIn is another fantastic opportunity that is great for B2B marketers. So there's 900 million users currently on LinkedIn. 60% of those users fall between 25 and 34. So they're our younger millennial audience. That's kind of my age group. Gen Z is also an up and coming age group on the platform, which is 18 to 24. So 20% of users fall into that category. So it is a bit of a kind of younger audience on LinkedIn, which makes sense. Lots of people that are kind of in their mid to late 30s and early 40s, early 50s are quite well established in their careers. LinkedIn is primarily used for job seekers. Businesses are on the platform as well, but it's often used for job seekers to kind of have a digital place to store their resume and showcase their work. So there are a lot of younger people that are more apt to do that than older people who are established in their careers. In terms of gender split, 57% of users are male and 43% are female. So it is pretty comparable that way. You're going to reach your audience either way. And it's also good to know that users have a higher income on LinkedIn, an average of $75,000. That's goals, by the way. One day I'll be there. And they tend to have a higher education level. So these are not your entry-level employees that you're going to find hunting around for in jobs on like Indeed. These are people that have educations and degrees and higher incomes. So they're going to be the people that are willing and able to invest in the products and services that you offer if you're offering B2B marketing solutions. So like I said, LinkedIn is really great for B2B users. So 82% of marketers are actually B2B, and they do see really great success and revenue generated from LinkedIn. 93% of LinkedIn is actually used for organic marketing. So these are my kind of people. And you tend to see 2 times higher conversion rates. So like I said, really great for lead generation because people are more serious about their business and investing in either their business or their education when they're on LinkedIn. It is a very professional platform. It's typically not one that you spend your free time using. You're using it for a specific purpose and a specific end goal. So the reason that as a B2B marketer, I don't use Twitter or LinkedIn for my business, even though they are great options, is because I am a business to business marketer in the sense that I take on clients to do social media marketing for, and I have done for you marketing packages available. But my target audience is more so people that are doing this as hobbyists. So they're either not quite an entrepreneur yet or recently into their entrepreneur journey, and they're interested in some of like my one-off packages, some of my courses, and some of my coaching. That's more so where my passion lies in terms of what I like to help people with, because I tend to see bigger results and rewards for those clients. My target audience is actually not on those platforms, even though I am a B2B marketer, but I do utilize LinkedIn more specifically when I am looking to take on more retainer clients, which, by the way, I am doing currently. So if you're listening to this in April of 2023 and you're looking for some done for you marketing solutions, then definitely get in contact. All right, so let's talk TikTok. This is the hot topic right now. This is actually a super controversial platform. There is a lot of talk going on in the US right now because it is not owned by a North American company. So some people are a little leery of TikTok, but it cannot be ignored that there are large number of people utilizing the platform. So let's talk about how you can use that for your business. So TikTok is most known for its short form videos, so anything that is less than 3 minutes. And it is mostly entertaining content. So you will see some tutorials and recipes and things like that on there, but it is primarily used to pass the time. It is the 6th most used social media platform. So Facebook's number 1, then YouTube, WhatsApp, Instagram, and then TikTok. And people spend on average 46 minutes a day on TikTok. So people are spending almost an hour looking at content on TikTok. So if you have a product or service that you want to sell, it's a good idea to try and sell it where people are spending the largest amount of their time. So the demographic for TikTok is typically age 10 to 19. So that's 25% of users. And then people aged 20 to 29 is 22%. So again, it's a bit of a younger audience. There is actually a larger audience of females on TikTok than men. So 57% of TikTok users are female and 43% are men. So if you have like earrings or jewelry or women's clothing lines, and this would probably be a great place for you to try and market your products to them. Think like fun try-on videos and get ready with me and outfit inspos would be a great content idea for you to use to sell your product on TikTok. So it's mostly used in China, but there are a lot of international businesses and people on here. My hesitation with TikTok for a lot of businesses is that it is not great if you are a brick and mortar, because unlike Instagram and Facebook, where you can kind of search for local people, you can use hashtags to find audiences that are actually physically capable of traveling to your place of business to purchase said product or service. You do not have those features and those options on TikTok. So if you're creating content for Instagram and it's video content, then by all means put it up on TikTok too. Two birds, one stone. The more places you can put your content, the faster you're going to be able to grow your audience and actually generate revenue for your business. But if you're not creating that short form video content already and you have a brick and mortar, I don't recommend that you invest your precious time into doing that, because you're probably not going to see the results that you're looking for. So TikTok was launched a little while ago, but in 2021, they did launch in-app shopping. So they are making it easier for businesses to sell their products to the people on their platform, which is great to know. So if you have digital products that people can download, or you're able to ship internationally, like I said, the largest percent of people using TikTok are in China and the US. So if you're a Canadian business like myself, then you need to be able to get your product or service into the hands of the people in those countries. Another interesting thing to note too is that trends seem to emerge on TikTok and then trickle out into the other platforms. So when you're using trending audio on apps like Instagram, often those started on TikTok. So if you are an avid TikTok user, then the content that you're creating on TikTok, if you're doing it in a timely manner, is going to be like ahead of the curve in the very early trending audio stages for Instagram. So that can help boost your Instagram reach as well. A little bit of an added bonus there. And it is great if your business is utilizing influencer marketing. There's a huge influencer base on TikTok. I think it is taken over Instagram's influencer base. So if you tend to work with influencers and ambassadors for your business, then I would encourage you to take a look at TikTok if you're not using it already. Okay, moving on to YouTube. So there are 122 million daily users on YouTube. It is most popular in India, the US, Brazil. Canada did not make the top 10 for a point of reference, but there's still a huge number of people that are using YouTube to share products and services with their audience and to generate that know, like, and trust factor that I talk at length about. So there are 54% of males that are using it and 45% female. So it is a little bit more of a male-dominated platform. And the most popular age demographics are 25 to 34 and then 35 to 44. So you get a little bit of an older audience here. And people do tend to spend, on average, 20 to 45 minutes per day on YouTube. So similar to TikTok, there is a large amount of time spent on the platform. Music is still the most popular feature, along with like gaming tutorials and like playthroughs that people are using. So if you are a music-based business or you are a video game player, then this is a really great platform for you to utilize. But it is also available for other marketers and product and service-based businesses. So I personally don't have YouTube as my primary platform, but I do utilize it in my business for my long-form video content. It's a great place to house it. And I also use it in my email marketing, actually. A lot of email marketing platforms don't allow you to embed full videos right in an email. So you upload them to YouTube and then you use the YouTube link in your email and it will direct people there to watch your video content. So I would say that it is important. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily the number one thing that people need to be doing for their business, but it's definitely something that you should consider having. And it is actually used by 55% of marketers, and actually 84% of viewers end up purchasing something that they see on YouTube. So this would potentially be a great place to invest in some paid advertising and also just in general to market your services if you have video content or vlogs that you tend to put up, then you definitely want to make sure that you have them on YouTube and that you're promoting your products and services in the videos that you are creating. Okay, moving on to Pinterest. So Pinterest is actually the 14th largest social media platform. So it actually doesn't rank that high on the list. It is not the most popular, evidently, but it is actually a growing platform. So there are 445 million monthly users on Pinterest, which is a really huge number as well. And it is an absolutely amazing platform for search engine optimization. I cannot emphasize this enough. So not quite as high as Google, but there are actually 5 billion searches done each month on Pinterest for product-based businesses and service providers. So it's a great lead generation tool. And 97% of these searches are unbranded. So what that means is that someone's searching for social media management tips or how to bake an upside down pineapple cake. So they're not looking for a specific company. So you don't have to be a big business to see results on Pinterest in your marketing if you can target your content to be relevant to the searches that people are actually conducting on Pinterest. And it is definitely used for more than just recipes now. I know that that was primarily what got me started using Pinterest, but you can have static and video content included on here, and it does not have to be food-based. And if you have a female target audience, then Pinterest is 100% a great option for you because 77% of women are on Pinterest. So they're primarily between 25 and 34. That's the most popular age demographic. So that's about 27% of Pinterest users, followed then by Gen Z. So that's your younger audience. That's your 18 to 24. There is a shift and more men are starting to use Pinterest. I know I've seen Grayson look up some different video tutorials when he's been doing renovations, and even sometimes I think when he's learning different songs to play on his guitar. So I do see men starting to use Pinterest more, but it is more prevalently a female audience on Pinterest. So one thing that I do want to note with Pinterest is that even though it's a great search engine platform, people are usually in a future mindset. So having Pinterest is more of a long-term sales strategy. People will pin something and have it as an, oh, this will be interesting to come back to later. So you may not see your revenue jump drastically in the short term, but it can be a fantastic long-term solution for your business. And it has a much larger and longer lifespan for your content. So if you're an avid, TikTok or Pinterest or even sometimes Facebook user, you'll notice that your content has a shelf life. Usually your first 24 to 48 hours are when you're getting the majority of your likes, your comments, and your shares. And then over the span of maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you'll have a little bit more trickle in if your post makes it to the Explore page or, it's been shared by other people. But after about the 3-week mark, you can pretty much assume that people are not going to be seeing that piece of content anymore. Whereas with Pinterest, your content lives longer, like 6 months or more. It has a much longer life because it depends on what keywords people are searching when your content is actually going to show up. So you could have posts that you've created 2 or 3 years ago still be getting an amount of traffic because of the search words that people are using and the ones that you've built into that post. So businesses actually start planning for the holidays on Pinterest 5 to 6 months in advance. You guys, people are planning Christmas in July. I kid you not. I've actually talked to Pinterest advertisers because this is something that I'm looking to implement for my business by hopefully the end of the year, if not early next year, because of the long-term potential growth and revenue available with Pinterest advertising. As much as I love Instagram, don't get me wrong, it's probably always going to be my favorite. When I create something and I pour my heart and soul and a lot of my time into creating my content, I want to know that it's going to benefit people over a very large amount of time, and that's just not the reality of Instagram. So that sounds absolutely amazing to me that my content will live for 6 months or more. So that's one of the reasons that I'm looking to add Pinterest to my marketing plan for the next year. And like I said, it does have static and video options. So oftentimes a lot of the content that you're already creating can be either just put up on Pinterest and left to kind of do its own thing, or can be repurposed into Pinterest marketing very easily. So if you blog or if you vlog and you're doing things like that and you have that content already created, it's really easy to create a couple pins and then actually drive traffic back to your website. So it is actually a traffic generator as well as an audience growth tool. And it will help build your list too, because you can promote your lead magnets and your freebies and things like that on there and drive people back to your website to register. So I love the linking option and the traffic that it drives to your website as well. There's just a lot of really cool options and features available with Pinterest. So just a couple other things. Shopping has seen a 20% growth in 2021. So more people are actually going to Pinterest with the intent to purchase. So that is really good to know if you're investing your time adding a new platform to your portfolio, that you're likely to see results from that. And interestingly, 86% of Pinterest users also use Instagram. So Pinterest is great if you have a female audience, if you're looking for your content to last for a longer period of time, and if you are looking to drive traffic back to your website and grow your email list. It's also absolutely amazing if you're already creating long form content like blogs or vlogs, or you have lots of lead magnets available for your business. That is very easy content to put up on Pinterest and help see your business grow overnight. It is very much a passive income generator for your business, which is really amazing. So all of those downloadable resources that you have, so start watching the dollar signs roll in while you sleep. Okay, now let's talk about Instagram. So like I said, Instagram is my favorite platform. I absolutely love the community aspect of it. And it's just so visually appealing and fun and interactive. And it is a very popular platform. So it's actually the fourth most used social media platform out there right now. There are over 2 billion monthly active users. And those users tend to spend at least 30 minutes a day on the platform. You know, unless you're like me as a social media manager, in which case it's a lot more. It's an embarrassingly large number that I'm not going to tell you. But lots of people are using Instagram for long periods of time. So this is a great place to be promoting your business and growing that community. It is primarily used between the ages of 18 and 34. So they cover both the Gen Z and the millennial in their statistic, and that's 60% of their users. So that actually ranks higher than TikTok. I had to look that up to make sure it was true, but it is. So TikTok, being as popular as it is, still has lower numbers in the 18 to 34 demographic than Instagram does. Food for thought on that one. And interestingly, Instagram is actually 52% men and 48% women. So there are more men on the platform, but it is a pretty even split, really, when you think about it. Highest Instagram usage is in India and like US North America, which makes up for 47%. So if you're a Canadian-based business like myself, then your target market is likely on Instagram. And they're spending over 30 minutes a day interacting with the different content on the platform. So it's great for connecting with new people and growing your audience. Like I said, it has fantastic community features. If you are a brick and mortar business, then it is great because you can build your community and also know that they can actually travel to your store and purchase your product if you're utilizing the platform features appropriately to find the people in your local area. It also has a high click-through ratio. So if you are doing paid advertisement, and again, I really do focus on organic strategies for my clients, but if you are using Instagram for paid advertising, it does have a pretty high click-through rate, but it is more expensive cost per click. So you're going to pay more when people actually do click on your post or to purchase. So 70% of shoppers do use Instagram to look for their next purchase. So it has pretty high stats similar to Pinterest. 35% of those shoppers do plan to make a purchase in 2023. So it is a great time to be promoting your products and services on the platform. And 90% of Instagram users do follow businesses. So people are actively looking to shop, planning to spend money, and they're looking for businesses to do that with on the platform. So that's really good information to know that when you're creating that content, it has the potential to generate revenue for your business. Instagram is also very versatile. So you have the options for static images, for carousels, which is several static images in the same post. You can also do short form video content, and it's starting to creep up into a little bit of longer form video content as well. You can do pre-recorded and post it in your feed or your reels, and you can do live videos. So there really is a very wide variety in the features available for you to use. And then you have options for whatever it is that you like to do. I personally like to have a mix of preset posts and reels, and I also like to be live in my stories because I really feel that that helps my audience get to know me and the value that I can provide for them. One thing that I found while I was researching some of this information for today's episode is that on average, you can expect your account to grow by 0.98% each month, less than 1%. So I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but I get a very large amount of people going, how do I grow my audience? I want to go from 0 to 500 followers in like less than a week. I want my account to blow up overnight. And that's just not the reality. I hate to break it to you, but that's not the reality of the growth available on Instagram. So when I found that statistic, I really wanted to share. Instagram can be an absolutely amazing feature and your account will grow. I know this because I have done it on my personal account, I've done it on my business account, and I've done it for my clients. And I do think we usually see more than 0.98% as a growth rate, but you need to know that it's going to be slow and you're going to need to be consistent with it. And the average engagement rate for business accounts do tend to be 0.54% per post. It is a little bit higher for video content. So if you're posting content and you're only getting a couple likes and comments on that, especially when you have a small following, that's not uncommon. You're not doing it wrong. It just takes time for your audience to build that trust in you before they start interacting. People like to watch quietly from the sidelines before they're ready to dive in and start interacting with businesses. So know that you're not doing it wrong. And it really does take time, which is actually one of the big tips that I wanted to provide for you. So I'll do a recap in a second, but I wanted to share some of my general notes. So TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram are the most popular social media platforms by far for people in, the peak demographic zones, the Gen Zs, the millennials, and the 35 to kind of 49 bracket. They're on those platforms and they are ready to be making purchases. It is great to have a marketing strategy. You need one for your business. That being said, your marketing strategy needs to have one primary platform. I cannot stress this enough. You need to focus on one and grow it. And then you can add others and you can use others as you grow your primary account. Like I said, if you're creating reels on Instagram, then share them on TikTok too. But you need to have one account that is your primary, your go-to, that you focus on growing your account numbers on and building community. And then after you've seen that growth and success that you're looking for, then you can branch out to other platforms. I say this time and time again. It is all about consistency. And you need to be consistent on it. You can't post one day here and then you're gone for 2 months and then you post again. I'm not saying that you need to post every day. I'm 100% an advocate that your business and your social media presence can work around your family. I don't post every day because it's not realistic or practical for me to do that a lot of times. But Instagram is my primary platform and it's the one that I really focus on growing my community on. And then the rest of them are secondary. All social media platforms can work for your business, but you need to be consistent with it. So, my summary. If you are a product-based business, then I recommend that you are on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. Those are going to be the best platforms for you to grow your business and generate sales on. And again, no matter what type of business I talk about in the next few examples here, you should be using email marketing with it. But in terms of social media platforms, product-based businesses, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. If you are a service provider like myself, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok if you want to, and Pinterest is also a great option for your lead magnets and any of the downloadable content and resources that you have. If you are an influencer, I recommend Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. You got your engagement on Instagram, your popular youthful demographic that is looking to follow influencers on TikTok, and a lot of the content that influencers are creating is usually video content, so that translates nicely to YouTube. And it's also great because a lot of influencers do either blog or vlog to kind of go along with it, and they're sharing unboxing videos and tutorials, and try-ons are really popular depending on the type of influencer that you are. So adding YouTube to the mix can be beneficial for you as well. If you are a business-to-business marketer, then you need to be on LinkedIn. You can likely use Facebook and Instagram as well to support your marketing efforts, but you need to be on LinkedIn because that is where the majority of businesses that have the money and the capital to invest in your services are going to hang out, because that's where they're also growing their businesses. So that is my recap. I hope that you guys found this information helpful. I do like to share my personal example. I am 100% transparent in everything that I do for my business. So I mentioned that I am not really using LinkedIn. You can't find me on LinkedIn. I'm not using TikTok. You can't find me on TikTok. That is the only social media platform that I do not have set up for my business, but I am at Brittany Miller Socials on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and LinkedIn, and Pinterest. So I do a lot, but Instagram is my primary platform. I use Facebook primarily for reviews and for posting events that I'm running for my business. So that's workshops and webinars. And I share all of the content that I create on Instagram to Facebook as well, because it is conveniently linked for you to do so. And I can also schedule it in advance through Meta. I use TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn, like I said, gets all of my content, if it's available, as more of like a passive growth strategy. YouTube, as I mentioned earlier, I use for long form video content that is too big for Instagram and TikTok, and I use it to link to anything that I need for my email marketing. Anytime that I run workshops and webinars too, I actually upload the video to YouTube. Some of them I'll make available for people to watch, and some of them I leave private just for the people that register for the course. So if you check out my YouTube page, you might find a couple videos there that you can look at for reference. And I do have an upcoming webinar, but I'm doing 30 days of content in 30 minutes webinar in April. And I would encourage you to register for that as well if that's something you're interested in. Oh, and Pinterest is on my radar that I would like to start implementing later this year once I get my website update done, so that I can put all of my webinars and my lead magnets and my blog posts and podcast episode promotions up on Pinterest and then drive that traffic back to my website. That's what I'm looking to add to my marketing plan this year, but my website needs to have all of that information readily available in a beautifully on-brand format and ready to download. So I have some work to do before I'm ready to add Pinterest to my marketing strategy. But even when I do, Instagram is still going to be my primary go-to place to connect, because I love that I can be live and spontaneous and have real conversations with people, which you don't get on some of the other platforms. So you will always find me on Instagram. So I hope that today's podcast episode was really helpful and informative for you. If you do have questions, please email me. Like I said, I love talking to people. Hit me up on Instagram or whatever platform you use at Brittany Miller Socials, and we can chat about what social media platforms are going to be the most beneficial for your business and how you can utilize the content that you're already creating on other platforms to generate some residual growth for your business. And for those of you that are new and just tuning in, I do like to note that I offer a free 30-minute consultation to kind of chat about anything that is going on and any questions that you have. No obligation whatsoever to work with me afterwards. I just like to share what I know with as many people as I possibly can and help answer questions and steer people in the right directions. So I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope that I'll hear from you soon. Until next time, thank you so much for tuning in to Go Get Great. I hope you found some useful tips and tricks that can help you make life and business work together. If what I said resonates with you, please share it on social media, and don't forget to tag at Brittany Miller Socials so that I can celebrate you for taking those first steps towards achieving greatness. Remember, success doesn't happen overnight. It takes dedication, hard work, and a lot of spirit. So don't be afraid to dream big and go after what you want. Keep striving for greatness. You get closer with every step forward, no matter how small they may seem. Until next time, go get great.